technical troubles are mounting. Oh, and the laptop is very real, the very latest from the campaign trail tonight on Hannity.
Hey guys, welcome back to XCOM 2. Do a few of these a day, so usually if I'm free.
Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives. It's a fun bet for local.
When you work and live in the same place, that very much makes it a local feel.
Because we're able to make meaningful connections with people right here in our community.
It kind of was a joke, but every time I walk in and say it's Corey, it's like Coach Go Corey, and they just let me through.
I really feel good about helping other people. And that's how I was brought up.
When it comes to drugs, how much freedom is too much for kids? Drugs are out there. Will my team feel free to say no around other kids? I didn't live drug-free when I was younger. And I admit that to my kids. Drugs worry me, but how can I feel free to talk about it with my kids?
Questions about drugs and kids? Call or chat to get real-time support.
Biden said his executive order would shut down the border, but it's been a week, and thousands of illegals are still pouring through. Bill Malhusian has more.
Well, Jesse, President Biden's executive order is pretty much having zero impact whatsoever down in the busy San Diego sector. That's where adult men from really all around the planet continue crossing illegally nonstop, with most of them being released into the U.S. Now, Fox News cameras have witnessed mass illegal crossings in Jacumba, California, several days in a row now, with every day in the last week averaging over 1,000 illegal immigrant apprehensions down in that sector. One Border Patrol agent is now voicing his frustration.
Does it frustrate you when you hear that, when you hear the narrative, like, why aren't Border Patrol doing anything?
You're fun. Long and false. You're cold and fine.
Meanwhile, take a look at this. At Boston Logan International Airport, the baggage claim area has been turned into a shelter for illegal immigrants, with hundreds of them camping inside the sanctuary city's airport. And at San Antonio Airport, a News Nation reporter posted this video showing Americans having to wait in a long line at TSA while illegal aliens released from DHS custody with their notice to appear paperwork had their own much faster line. We reached out to TSA for comment. They said they're preparing a statement, but as of this newscast, we have not heard back from them yet. Meanwhile, today, Fox News questioned Democrats about 8 Tajikistan nationals with ISIS ties being arrested by ICE and the FBI after they were caught and released at the southern border.
But to me, they're just a reminder that Republicans need to stop opposing additional resources for more Border Patrol agents and other DHS personnel to help continue to enforce the law.
They had the personnel and they let them go.
Oof.
Republicans not getting them.
And Jesse, just a little reminder for your viewers, Democrats held the White House, the Senate, and the House the first 2 years of President Biden's presidency. They did absolutely nothing on the border. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Bill. Trump's been very clear when he gets into office, he's going to get revenge. But what does that look like?
My revenge will be successful.
92 miss.
But it's awfully hard when you see what they've done. These people are so evil. And at the same time, the country can come together. You know, I'm saying this, but the country can come together.
Revenge through success. Everybody wins, even Trump's enemies. Jesus told his disciples, "But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you." What would Jesus do? Revenge through success. But some people heard the word revenge and thought Trump's going to put me in Gitmo.
Yeah, it was clear.
Slippy and AOC are all worried about being thrown in solitary. Stelter says that's just the beginning.
Jail, of course, is an extreme part of the spectrum. Imprisonment is an extreme part. But think about IRS audits.
Drop.
Think about government pressure on media companies. Think about other forms of interference. There are a lot of pressure points. And frankly, Rachel Maddow not the only one in the media thinking about this. I've talked to the heads of the news organizations, CEOs of media companies that are thinking through, not in dramatic fashion, not because they're afraid of going to jail, but because they want to know what could Trump do to use his power in the second term to punish the media.
Trump doesn't want to put the press in prison. He loves them. He loves them so much that he talks to them even when he shouldn't. And the press should love him back. He made him rich and famous. During his presidency, CNN and MSNBC ratings were double what they are now. Never Trumpers, deep staters got huge TV contracts, $1 million book deals being handed out like Halloween candy. Today, Biden runs away from the press. There's mass layoffs, no book deals, and CNN's losing the reruns of Martin. The media is catching a case of arrest envy. They saw what happened to Trump when he got arrested. Legendary mugshot, 24/7 coverage, millions of dollars in donations. And they want a taste of martyrdom. They're begging Trump to arrest them for attention. It's the only way anybody will know they're still famous. They want their own trials like Trump, cold courtrooms, gag orders, and De Niro showing up. But none of that's going to happen. If Trump locks up all the reporters, who's he going to joust with? But there's a different revenge path Trump could take. Legal scholar John Yoo says there's only one way to stop the political prosecutions. Prosecute Democrats. Quote, only retaliation in kind can produce the deterrence necessary to enforce a political version of mutual assured destruction. Without the threat of prosecution of their own leaders, Democrats will continue to charge future Republican presidents without restraint. John Yoo is the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General. John, what would that look like, prosecuting Democrats? Be specific.
Oh, thanks, Jesse, for having me on. And I got to say, that was a great article you were just reading.
Thank you.
I know who wrote such great words.
What a wonderful scholar.
Well, this is what it would look like. You'd have to have Republican DAs indict Hunter Biden or indict Joe Biden, just in the way that blue state DAs have been indicting President Trump. And it wouldn't be for federal crimes, it would be for things like corruption, for fraud, for bribery, because that's the only way I think you can get Democrats to stop abusing the legal system, to stop breaking the norms that they have. I was listening to your introduction to the segment, Jesse, and look, the Democrats are so scared because they have broken all these rules. They have crossed the Rubicon, and now they're so worried because once they've destroyed all these norms and the way they've gone after Trump, they realize Republicans can turn around and do the exact same things to them.
We heard a guy at the top, a consultant to Trump in 2020, say that Trump should promise to pardon Hunter preemptively as a kind of way to rise above things and flip the script on Democrats. You're saying Trump wins, local DAs go after Joe and Hunter, and go further than that. What other avenues or areas do you think Republican DAs or prosecutors could legitimately do in order to get accountability?
Well, one thing they can look at is influence peddling beyond just the Biden family. Are there other Democratic politicians who engage in the same kind of conduct? They get their brothers hired, their sisters hired, their kids hired by foreign governments, foreign corporations.
You destroyed on a burn?
And then try to help those
That's a
companies
first.
out.
First I've used it too.
The Justice Department actually goes after a lot of American companies when they do exactly the same thing abroad. If you were an Exxon and you hired, say, the son of the head of Saudi Arabia, you would be prosecuted like that.
Yeah.
So why can't Republican DAs do the same thing here in the United States? And look, I don't want this norm to have been broken. I wish we were not using the criminal justice system to interfere in politics. But how else could you deter Democratic DAs from doing the same thing? If you don't, they're just going to keep doing it and doing it worse and worse.
Insider trading could probably be an area where prosecutors would have a field day. And just look at Nancy Pelosi, look at some of these members of Congress. Could the SEC get involved there?
It could be the SEC, but it could just be, and this is the thing that the Democrats have really started, it wasn't just the Justice Department, it was letting any city and county DA go after Trump. There are 2,500 elected DAs in the country. And so to really establish, and this is all to rebuild the norm, to get people to stop doing this, then you would allow Republican DAs in, say, Texas or Florida to ask, why does a Democratic senator or Democratic congressman go into office and then 20 years later they seem to have millions of dollars in multiple mansions like Bernie Sanders?
Right. So don't do what Jesus would do. Don't love thy enemy. Play the long game.
Jesus wasn't running for president.
All right, Jonathan, thank you so much. Oh, man. New hoax alert. Right back.
I love that my daughter still needs me, but sometimes I can't help due to burning and stabbing pain in my hands. So I use Nervive.
Nervive's clinical dose of ALA reduces nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days.
Now I can help again. Feel the difference with Nervive.
Rising costs, selective coverage. For countless Americans, the complex specialty care they need has always felt just out of reach. At Evernorth, we give members unrivaled access to the most complex therapies at the best prices, while providing enhanced support like in-home nursing at no additional cost. That's wonder made possible. Evernorth Health Services.
Feeling your best starts with Tommy Copper compression socks. Because when your feet feel good, you feel good. So you can focus on your job, the job at hand, or the job that's fun. Tommy Copper compression socks reduce swelling and fight aches and pains. Upgrade your socks and feel your best. Go to TommyCopper.com and see savings today.
You need this. Trust me.
Is it just me, or does online dating feel like a total waste of time? I've spent hours on these apps, and it's gotten me nowhere. Can we just stop? I want to meet someone I would actually want to date. Someone I would feel comfortable introducing to my friends, you know? It's Just Lunch is so much better. It's not a dating app, not even close. You work with a matchmaker. She got to know me, asked me what I like to do, what I'm looking for, and then she got to work. And you know if you meet him through It's Just Lunch, he's just as serious as you are.
At It's Just Lunch, our experienced matchmakers know what it takes to bring the right people together. Call 800-756-0949 to find out what our professional matchmakers can do for you.
There are good guys out there. You just need a little help finding them.
Call It's Just Lunch at 800-756-0949.
This country has never been so divided. Is your dad a licorice lover or hater? We at licorice.com have 50 plus gourmet flavors that Dad will flip out over. Drop limited edition Father's Day gifts and treat Dad to something truly sweet. Only at licorice.com. How do you find the perfect Father's Day? Simple. Just type WT.com. WeatherTech has hundreds of premium products that will keep Dad's vehicle looking its best. Like laser measure floor mats, cargo wire, and secret to enhance your interior protection. Sunshade blocks harmful UV rays. The cup bone perfectly secures its foam while driving. Order these American-made products or a gift card at WT.com. Happy Father's Day.
With Consumer Cellular's fast and reliable coverage, it's easy to win. Oh, hey! We're sending it 2 months free when you buy any iPhone, like iPhone 15 Pro with titanium. 20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Bro. Connect with the provider today at bro.co/20.
When you're hot, nothing feels better than the gentle cooling breeze of the ceiling fan, right? The problem is you're going to spend hundreds of dollars on the fan and just as much to have it installed. Not anymore. This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Was that easy or is that easy?
Available at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today. Oh, that's great.
What position did you play?
First base. That's where Grandpa used to play. When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our friends and family.
Clear captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you. Call 1-800-979-0270. That's 1-800-979-0270.
Arab Spring break might be over, but the occupiers are still at it. Over 100 Hamas lovers marched into UCLA, holding fake dead bodies and looking to set up a new campus caliphate. But this time the cops weren't having it and started arresting the college jihadis before they could pitch their tents. Watch. And if they can't occupy a campus, they occupy a subway. A horde of Kifa and Tifa went underground, they love tunnels, fighting with cops, vandalizing the trains, and demanding any Jews identify themselves.
Wow, it was close.
A mostly peaceful commute, unless you happen to be Jewish. Crime's so out of control, looters are back, and there's not even a reason to riot. The whole mob recorded the rampage. One arrest. In Seattle, where they told Johnny there's no crime, there's gang shootouts in residential neighborhoods. In New York, maniacs with knives are now lunging at cops. And in San Francisco, it was just another day that ended in the letter Y. A sideshow with fires, burnouts, and Roman candles. Those are fun. Blatant and outrageous crimes occurring on a daily basis, coast to coast, but Biden's running for re-election, so the FBI is telling you crime's down. Attorney and retired NYPD Inspector Paul Mora. Paul, the FBI comes out and says crime is way down. Is that true? No. All right, so let's just break it out in a very simple way, just from the get-go. 40% of the nation's police departments don't report up to the FBI with their crime number. Oh, and what a coincidence. Let's do the roll call. New York, LA, Chicago, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., which is federal itself, they don't report to the FBI. So, consequently, what is it all? The 11 companies are all big blue cities that have high crime rates, and those numbers are not going into the UCR. That's what they call FBI UCR crime reports. Furthermore, the FBI has a habit of trying to extrapolate those numbers, right? Now, nothing's more dull than statistics, but it's interesting when they do. For instance,
this quarter, when Joe Biden is claiming violent crime is down, he's focusing on murders. Murders are down, the lowest rate going down, etc. Okay, the NYPD and the FBI murder number for this year are different by 44%.
Oh, wait a second.
And one accident that the New York City number is a little bit higher than the FBI is.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, they use the same definition, so it's not like the devils in the details. It's the same murder definition. They're off by 44%. You can't trust these numbers. And you know, just consider this. The videos you just showed, most of what you just showed would not be captured in any of the crime numbers that we have.
Why not? Because that was a knife attack on a police officer. We saw, I believe, a shootout in a residential neighborhood. That's legitimately classified as a shooting.
Yeah, they probably got that as a for instance, in New York, for instance, you had to hit somebody with that for it to be a shooting incident. All right, there's always...
Wait, I can empty my clip, but if I miss, they don't count that.
Yeah, sure. So it's just, and look, the bottom line is quality of life is not captured in any of the FBI numbers. And if you live in a blue city, walk outside and use your eyes. And by the way, what would the arrests be for those people who were yelling about Jews on the train? Where are the hate crimes? Where are the FBI, hate crimes task forces, all these other... None of that gets captured.
0 hate crimes on that subway. And just a handful of arrests in the... it looked like a music video in San Francisco with the fires and the skids.
And remember something, too, is Joe Biden's talking about how he's supporting law enforcement, Officer Nice pro law enforcement. The day he came to town after P.O. Dillard got killed, he went to Radio City. He had, 5 hours before that event? He didn't pick up the phone and call that family. Donald Trump went to that wake. If you don't think that matters, you don't think America's law enforcement sees that and will vote commensurately, you're not paying attention.
They sure will. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Jake Paul joins Primetime next.
Announcing Camping World's Inflation Buster camping program. You can now get into a new RV starting at just $98 a month. Or this family camper that sleeps 5, now just $108 a month. Or this well-appointed couples camper for just $175 a month. We won't let the economy steal your camping season. We've worked with our preferred bank partners to lower monthly payments like never before, so we can make RVing more affordable than ever before. Great call and come into your local Camping World to take advantage of this very limited time offer and lock in your low monthly payment today.
This is a call to all my fellow Americans to stand up, fired up, and will not let up. You're the ones this country needs. At Pure Talk, we'll give you a voice, along with unlimited talk, text, and data for only $20 a month. All on the most dependable 5G network. So stand with us, a proud American wireless company. Call Pure Talk and get 50% off your first one. This is your call. It's time to answer.
The best ideas are solving common problems. My problem, like a lot of other, I couldn't find a shirt that looked good on me. So this became my passion, to design a shirt that captures the perfect balance between quickly fit. Easy to say, not that easy to do. But with some innovative design changes, we did it. Our problem, my solution. Untuckit.com.
My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. I heard about a relief factor from my wife. I took it every day, 3 times a day, for 3 weeks. Looked at her and I said, the pain is gone. And she said, I'm glad it helped. I said, no, you don't understand. It's gone.
You too can feel better every day with Relief Factor, a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Call, go online now, and get 35% off your first order.
It takes special dedication to care for our elderly, especially
Excellent.
when they need it most. At Visiting Angels, we help seniors be independent and safe.
Let's save this.
And give families that special peace of mind.
Figured out a reaper on this one.
Have the best day possible.
I'll see you guys next time.
Here's our helping hand. So you care